And then it's the content, which is the most important thing. You should do the content with him and make sure it's all amazing. And they send you a script and you should approve the script. A huge process, but very, very interesting because we work with so many companies. And I always tell my employees, you work for 25 startups.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley in partnership with Leumi Tech, sponsored by Homeward Ventures, Hippo Insurance, Upwest Labs, Synergy Global, Hillel at Stanford, Leap, Birthright Excel, Serona Partners, and in media partnership with C-Tech. Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Let's talk about storytelling. Meet Regev Gur, founder and CEO of Narrative Group. Regev Gur is a businessman, entrepreneur, and pioneer in the influencer and tech marketing arena. In 2018, he founded Narrative Group, which has since become one of the largest influencer marketing agencies in North America. He is a leading figure in the emerging tech advertising industry, and in 2021 was recognized by Forbes as one of the top young entrepreneurs under 30. Regev Gur, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much for hosting me in your beautiful apartment here in New York. We have Rafa here that is joining us. I think you may be able to see a little bit of him. He's looking at me in a very endearing way. And today we're going to be talking about influencer marketing.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about the new generation of marketing for B2C and B2B startups and companies. You know, the world is changing. Generation Z is different. We're looking at influencers and we're looking at micro-influencers. And you are a pioneer in this field, something that you've realized quite a while ago. And today, working with startups with some pretty awesome announcements just recently. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you see marketing in this world.
So in my opinion, the best way to do marketing is by getting reference and recommendations. And this is why I find influencer marketing so effective. And if you saw in the past, so many brands that are not tech related, but like just beauty brands and fashion brands are doing influencer marketing. Those days you can see any brand from classic B2C company.
You were telling me that marketing has changed. And for you, the most effective marketing is recommendations.
Yeah. I find recommendation is the most effective thing ever. Imagine that someone recommends you to do something versus you see it on an ad or any platform. It's I think it is that you buy trust. It's the most important thing that you can do in marketing in 2022.
Right.
Trust.
Now, so let's go one step back.
Yeah.
If you think about marketing, what is in essence marketing for you?
Basically, it's everything. There are so many products that are the same, but if they win in marketing, they win in everything. This is why I'm a huge believer that marketing is probably the most important role in every company.
Right.
What's the difference between any SaaS product to each other? There is no much difference. The features are pretty much the same. But the marketing, it's everything. The way you sell it out, it's everything. And I think that if you recruit a bunch of people that has a huge amount of followers to your team, you can win it.
So I think that what you're touching on is this trend now that we have different verticals or different spaces in which a lot of companies are emerging that have similar offerings. Obviously, there's nuance and there's differences, but in general, they're offering similar products. And the key differentiator there, it's the way that they're selling it and how they're convincing others to buy it, right? And that's the marketing.
Yeah, 100%. And the marketing can be from everything. First of all, from a good product, from a better product, from a better offer, like financial wise, money wise, cost. But I think that eventually the way you sell it, that's the way for you to actually move the needle between same products.
Okay, beautiful. So we agree that marketing is critical. This is where we're 2021 approaching 2022. This is it. And we know also that the generation that is even younger than us, Generation Z, they're very much influenced from marketing, right? And so traditionally, most agencies I would speak to, marketing agencies, they would offer me some ads, they would offer me some billboards, TV commercials, radio commercials, right? But you're doing something different.
Yeah. So we do ads, but it's not a typical ads. It's something that it's way more recommend related, and then it makes it almost no ad. So I think that the key is amazing content. If you work with the right influencers on an amazing content, that will perform. And this is what we do. We basically work between 100 to 200 influencers per month.
Wow.
So we know influencers almost in every vertical. It can be from diabetes, because it's a company that does something related to diabetes, and it can be a tech influencers that review tech and a SaaS product. So we work with almost 200 of them every month, and we know what works. We already have the experience to understand if this is a real content person that can create amazing content in a value price where you can score your goals, or if it's something that it's more ad, and then we don't touch it.
Right. So talk to me about influencers. It's not something that's trivial. Maybe you and I, we think about it in the day-to-day, but this is a new concept in the world.
So I think it's an old concept that was having an upgrade.
Nice.
So let's say 10 years ago, if I'll tell you to date with the girl versus you see her on any app or on the newspaper or whatever, you're going to listen to my recommendation as your friend, as an expert, whatever. If I'm going to recommend you to do something, you're going to probably do that way before you saw it in any other place. And then you can support the idea from different places. So for example, if you do a campaign, so to say, yes, you can do PR and you can do advertising on television, but you would like to support it with the most experienced tech influencer that actually review the product and use it, and he likes it, and he knows the other products. Then you're going to listen to him.
Right.
For example, in my case, I'm a huge fan of credit cards and flights and all of this field. So I'm reading and I see all of those YouTubers that tells me where to fly, how to get more points, how to upgrade myself. I'm in this market, and then this guy is like a god for me in terms of he will tell me to do X. I'm probably gonna do that.
Incredible,
yeah.
Right? But also the content that you would create in an ad is different when you're talking about an influencer's content versus, a 15-second micromanaged slot on the TV, right?
Yes, 100%. So a good influencer, you don't need to do content with him. He will do that.
Okay, so what does that mean? What is it?
Which also saves a lot of production money. Many companies likes to work with creators. I'm not going to call it influencers, but creators that they're gonna produce everything for them. It's a one-man production. You don't need to buy to pay for expensive actors and sets and production days. You just give the brief to the influencer, and he will do whatever that's relevant for his audience.
Right.
So,
but then how does there's a struggle here, because the company has a specific messaging that maybe the head of marketing wants to put out. That let's say this new phone has a great battery life.
Yeah.
Now the influencer maybe gets that briefing, and the influencer is going to make a 3-minute video. Maybe they'll talk about battery life, and maybe that's not going to be the focus, right? Because you're saying they have more autonomy. How do you manage that struggle?
So they need to do whatever it's on the talking points.
Okay.
There is a talking points, and we talk a lot about content before we do any campaign, especially with those very expensive / powerful influencers. You want to make sure they're accurate with what the company wants to say. You let them go free in terms of the content, but you give them kind of like a very accurate guidelines.
Got it. And how do you then manage, the authenticity behind the influencer? So I imagine the reason that you really enjoy watching specific people with recommendations is because you almost believe that if they'll tell you that their experience on El Al is better than United, it's because they really do feel that. How do you then manage when there's financials involved with this?
So that's an amazing question. And I think that all the influencers should be afraid.
Really?
Yeah, because many influencers are starting to lose their
Credibility?
Yeah. And this is why they take less projects,
Right.
because they don't want to recommend every single day about something else. Then no one is going to believe them, and then they're worth nothing.
But there is a solution for this, right? I mean, there must be a way for influencers who genuinely like a product and they have a great following to monetize on that. Maybe there's an opportunity in the market for that.
Yeah, so they're saying that they're gonna do everything if only if they believe in the product.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure it's the right thing. I think that the professional influencer that we work with, they do only project that they care about the product and they think it's a good product.
Mm-hmm.
We got so many reviews, like, hey, we don't want to work with this type of company because it's X, Y, Z.
Right.
We work with the best tech companies out there, so we don't get many no's. But there are influencers that it's not going well with their brand, so they don't take it. We get few no's every month.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so, what does the actual process look like from the moment that I, as a startup, am interested in leveraging this creator economy, let's say, or the influencer marketing, to the moment where I'm actually getting something out there? What is happening there?
So it's basically a very long and hard process that we try to minimize it to the shortest time.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to differentiate between a B2C to a B2B product.
Okay.
B2B product, it's way more challenging because you need to convince the decision maker, which is not a regular person at home. He is a head of sales in whatever company. You need to convince him to use your product versus other product. He's way more judgmental than
Right.
other people, right? So the selling process of the influencer, it's something different. But I also believe that Elon Musk and Adam Singolda and all the rest of those folks are influenced by someone. So in the B2B case, how do you find this someone? How do you find his podcast that he's listening to and you integrate with this podcast?
Almost like Inception.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very hard. How do you, and then when you do the verticals, if you want to target HR managers, right? If your product is Hey Bob that wants to target HR managers out there in the entire planet, where are all the HR managers? What Facebook group that they're following on? Like, who is the mentor of HR award? And then we do the research. So this is step number one, the research. How do we find those relevant places and the relevant influence?
So as Narrative Group, you would get sort of the specs or the request from the start, and then you would go into a diligence process trying to figure out what is the best strategy, who is the best influencer, and in what sort of domain.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So it's all start from the meeting with the clients, but then from the research. After the research, we approve those people with the client, with the company, to see if they like it or not, if they think it's relevant or not. Obviously, we give our recommendation who to work with. And then the reach out part starts. Many of them are not answering. So they're going to answer us faster than they're going to answer the brand, since we're already in this market for a good amount of time, and we give them so many works. So and project. So this is I think the strength of an agency. This is the advantage of being an agency. You're in the center of everything.
Right.
And then after the reach out, the negotiations start. You need to negotiate for the price because you want to find for your clients the best prices out there. Those big folks cost a lot of money per YouTube or per video, per any, like, whatever deliverables that you want to achieve.
Right.
And then after negotiation, it's the legal stuff. You need to do all the contracts. And then it's the content, which is the most important thing. You should do the content with him and make sure it's all amazing. And they send you a script and you should approve the script. A huge process, but very interesting, because we work with so many companies. And I always tell my employees, you work for 25 startups or companies because we're in the core of the business, which is marketing. So we know everything about the company, and you never get bored because you work in so many verticals. So it's fascinating.
Right. And so which part of this do you enjoy most? Because you mentioned that there's a wide range of pipeline. There's from working with the startup to realize their needs, to strategizing for the right avenue for the influencer, to talking to the influencer, to writing the script and the talking points and releasing.
So I obviously don't like the legal stuff.
Yeah.
No one does.
Yeah.
I like the negotiation a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found myself making between 10 to 20 negotiation per day. I'm exhausted by the end of the day, but I love it. I like to win it. I'm fine with losing it. It happens. We do so many deals, so we lose.
Where is the center of the negotiation? Is it centered usually around the money, around the script?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. They care about many things, and we care about many things. It can be about money. Obviously, this is number one, like the cost of the influencers, because then you understand if it's really affect your acquisition. So this is number one, and then it's the usage. Can I use those materials after the campaign? We always want to use those materials. Everyone does. And the influencers know that. So there is a price tag for that.
Right.
And so you negotiate this as well. But I think this is the two main things, which is all about cost. And yeah, there are so many small things that I can't even explain you there. Negotiation is it's a very hard, but satisfying thing.
Right. I think that makes a lot of sense. And how long does this process usually take, end to end?
It really depends on the niche.
Yeah.
But if we start working today,
yeah,
we're going to start delivering in approximately 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. But then it's on a weekly basis. Then we're in business, and it's every time that we have a good opportunity, we pitch it.
Okay. I love it. And give me a few examples of narrative groups and perhaps some projects, just so that we can become really concrete with what type of work you're actually doing.
So the last engagement that we had so far, it's like 2 days ago, was with a huge influencer. His name is Mr. Who is the Boss, the British guy, super talented, huge amounts of followers, and not only followers, they listen to him.
They listen to him.
Yeah, he influenced people for real.
Yeah.
And this is what we're trying to find when we look for an influencers. We care about the niche, and then we care about the numbers, but we really care about his engagement. Is he actually an influencer? We did it for an Israeli company called Mind.
Yep.
I guess the people.
Gal Ringel was right here in this episode.
Yeah, a super talented person that actually understands a lot about influencer marketing. A huge startup in the data assistant area. So we did this campaign for them. Obviously, I cannot say numbers. We're very, very happy.
I mean, I went to YouTube myself, I think right after you posted on LinkedIn, just to see what we're talking about here.
No, I mean, in terms of views, it's going to hit the 2 million, 3 million views.
It's incredible. Insane. It's insane.
It's insane for an Israeli company, Israeli startup. The review was amazing. So yeah, everyone is happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do many of those.
Right.
Every week. I don't publish it all the time, but we do that a lot.
Well, I think that you need to publish it a little bit more, because it's just fascinating to see,
how time.
how marketing changes. But Regev, I want you to take me back a little bit before your marketing days, and maybe it'll help me understand a little bit better why you're in marketing and how you're thinking about the influencer economy and the creator economy. Going back to your sort of childhood.
Yeah.
Who is Regev?
So I had a very interesting childhood, I would say. I guess many of us does. I don't think I'm special in something. A great family, loving family. I grew up in Jerusalem. I was born in Jerusalem and grew up in Jerusalem. And then we moved to Mevaseret Zion. My parents divorced when I was 12, I would say. And since then, I was in a survival mode where I need to survive, to be the man in the house. I don't think like that now, but this is what I felt when I was a kid, that I need to take ownership. And I think this is what made me success. Like, there is no other option. I'm starving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm starving to success. I'm starving to make it.
100%, yeah.
And I love it. I'm very, very happy that I didn't come from a wealthy place, because then you don't have the same drive, in my opinion, that
intrinsic motivation, that understanding that you have the responsibility, almost the weight on your shoulder to succeed.
Yes, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day because I'm super duper highly motivated to make it.
I love it. And if you're looking at the work that you're doing today, or the work that you're looking to do, where is the inspiration coming from? Part of it, I understand, is this intrinsic motivation of success, of being successful. But where's the motivation for the work that you're doing?
So I have a huge motivation only from one source. I believe that during your life, you need to give everything that you have. In terms of money, to donate your money and to do good to people. Mm-hmm. So my dream is to be a philanthropist, not to make money for myself. Mm-hmm. Yes, to myself as well. I would like to live happily, but I don't think that a person needs so much. And as long as you're a powerful person, if you're a powerful person, it can be in your school, it can be in your class, it can be in your community, and you can be a huge philanthropist, like a multi-billionaire that help thousands of people.
Right.
So that's my dream. And this is why I do everything that I do.
I love it.
Like, it's not a cliche, it's for real. I think that you need to finish with zero in your bank account when you're dead.
Well, hopefully leave a little bit for the kids, and then the cycle can continue as well.
Yeah, teach them how to work. I think it's, you know what I'm saying?
It's even more important.
Yeah.
Regev, I really want to thank you for the time here.
Thank you, brother.
Beautiful, beautiful place. Thank you for hosting me here.
Thank you.
I have to say, truthfully, the post that you posted with mine and the influencer marketing and things, the world is changing. The generations are changing. Companies have to adapt. What we're seeing with the creator economy, all the way from gaming with Twitch, and now we're looking at TikTok and macro influencers, and we're seeing the rise of this creator economy. And it's really awesome that already a few years ago you were seeing this, and that you were the forefront and working with also Israeli companies to get to these heights. I think it's just incredible. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
Stay safe and healthy.